EastEnders spoilers, March 7 to 10. EastEnders spoilers follow. It's the week we've been waiting for. EastEnders killer Gray Atkins will finally be exposed. The net closes in on Gray in next week's high-stakes scenes as Mitch, Mick, Whitney, and Chelsea learn some shocking new truths and someone takes revenge. Here's a full collection of the 15 biggest moments to watch out for. 1. Gray is questioned by the police. BBC Gray is prepared to bring Jordan home with Chelsea, but his mind turns elsewhere when DCI Arthurs asks to talk to him about Tina. At the police station, Gray gives his DNA, but questions why he is there and insists he had nothing to do with Tina's death. Realizing the police actually have no evidence to connect him to the crime, Gray refuses to answer any further questions and leaves. 2. Shirley and Mick demand answers. BBC as she prepares to leave for France with Frankie, Nancy reveals that she saw Gray leaving with DCI Arthurs. Mick and Shirley rush to Gray's house and barge in, adamant to find out what's going on. Gray ups the emotion and fakes grief that Tina has died, even promising that he will try and help them where he can. 3. Gray plans his escape. Kieran McCarran Jack Barnes BBC. After learning some new information from Shirley, Gray panics and plans his escape. As Chelsea grows concerned about Jordan coming home with Gray, she and Denise are left confused by his no-show at the hospital. Chelsea is left further thrown when a panicked Gray calls her, ordering her to come straight away as they are going away for a few weeks. Gray refuses to explain what's going on, but Chelsea becomes even more suspicious when she hears Shirley banging on the door at the other end of the phone. 4. Whitney drops a bombshell on Mick. BBC Janine just can't help herself and lets slip to Sonia and Whitney about Tina, leaving them both heartbroken. It doesn't take Whitney long to put 2 and 2 together, and she quickly realizes that Gray was responsible. Shaken, Whitney reveals to Mick that she thinks Gray killed Tina. 5. Bailey continues to play matchmaker. BBC Bailey wants one last shot at proving to Mitch and Karen how perfect they are for each other and enlists Keegan's help in recreating their first date. After some encouragement from Keegan, they agree to go along with it, but will it be love or heartbreak for Mitch and Karen? 6. Rocky hatches a new plan. BBC Rocky feels like a spare part of the Vic and wants to give the Carters space to grieve. After telling them he's moving out, Rocky turns to Harvey for help with somewhere to stay. Rocky's luck begins to change when Rainey gives him a job at the funeral parlor, but things get off to a rocky start and it's clear he's not really up to the task. He also tries to offer his condolences to Sonia when he realizes she knew Tina, but she gives him the cold shoulder. 7. Vinny tries to prove himself. BBC with Kirat still on the run, Suki tries to postpone the meeting with Ranveer, but to no avail. Vinny begs his mum to let him help instead, and after some encouragement from Dottie, Suki reluctantly agrees. Kirat returns. BBC despite Vinny's best efforts, Ranveer is less than impressed and things quickly turn sour when he demands to speak to Kirat. Much to their surprise, Kirat arrives in the nick of time, saving the day. At the Panissers, Kirat takes charge of the meeting and puts Ranveer's mind at ease that all is on track with the investment, leaving Vinny feeling pushed out. 9. Shirley vows revenge. BBC as Mick reels from Whitney's bombshell regarding Gray, Shirley demands to know what's happening. Whitney and Mick are left with no choice but to tell her the truth. They think Gray killed Tina. Despite Mick's doubts, everything falls into place for Shirley and she vows to end Gray. After storming out of the Vic to find him, Shirley attempts to break Gray's door down. 10. Kirat has a big decision to make. BBC after Ranveer leaves, Kirat explains to his family that he's wanted by the police and is leaving the square for good. On his way out, Kirat runs into Stacy and says his goodbyes. They share a passionate kiss, but before he can leave, Whitney spots Kirat and pleads for his help in protecting Chelsea. Needing to be firm, Kirat refuses, insisting that he can't get involved anymore. However, when he spots an exchange between Gray and Denise, Kirat rushes to the hospital to warn Chelsea what's happening. But will he get there in time? 11. Mitch discovers the truth. BBC with the walls closing in on Gray, he turns to the only person he can trust, Karen. Despite Whitney and Mick's accusation that Gray killed Tina, Karen refuses to believe it and protects Gray by hiding him in the flat. Gray is grateful and pours her heart out to her, leaving Karen falling for his lies more than ever before. Mitch, on the other hand, is not so convinced and soon learns the truth. Gray abused Chantel and killed her. 12. Karen refuses to believe Mitch. BBC as Mitch battles with recent revelations, he tries to tell Karen what he's learned about Gray. Sadly, But not wholly surprisingly, Karen refuses to hear it, only wanting to believe the best about her former son-in-law. Can anything convince Karen that Gray is a murderer? 13. Chelsea has a final showdown with Gray. BBC Chelsea arrives home and is stunned to find Gray waiting for her. With everything at stake, Chelsea demands the truth from Gray, once and for all. Sadly, Chelsea's confrontation with Gray may be the last thing she does, as Gray is unable to control his rage. 14. And so does Whitney. BBC Thursday's unmissable episode will also see Whitney confront killer Gray as well. Desperate for her own moment of reckoning, Whitney tracks Gray down, but what will happen when the two have their final showdown? 15. Someone takes shock revenge. BBC with the truth about Gray's dark past finally coming to light, police are beginning to flood the square by the end of next week. Aware that numerous people now want revenge on him, Gray realizes his options are quickly running out, but how far will he go to escape justice? And what will happen when someone else take matters into their own hands? EastEnders airs these scenes on Monday, March 7th, Tuesday, March 8th, Wednesday, March 9th and Thursday, March 10th on BBC One. Read more EastEnders spoilers on our dedicated homepage. This content is created and maintained by a third party and imported onto this page to help users provide their email addresses. You may be able to find more information about this and similar content at piano.io.